Judd Apatow has announced that he's hard at work on This Is 50, a sequel to This Is 40 set 10 years later. Of all the Apatow sequels I'd love to see, Bridesmaids 2, Step Brothers 2, Pineapple Express 2, Walk Harder, Forgetting Sarah Marshall Again, Get Him Back to the Greek, Son of the 40-Year-Old Virgin, This Is 50 isn't very high on my list. The brand of film comedy that made Apatow the king of the 2000s is luring in audiences with raunchy humour and gross-out gags, and then hitting them with an unexpected dose of sweetness and sincerity. And when it hits, that combination works beautifully. Superbad sets itself up as a movie about horny teenagers trying to get laid, but it's really a story about two vulnerable friends who are scared to be apart. The 40-Year-Old Virgin starts off with a high-concept premise about the embarrassment of a middle-aged man who's never had sex. But it takes his emotions and his insecurities and his reservations seriously. And it's not about having sex, it's really about falling in love. These movies struck a perfect balance between the lighthearted comedic stuff and the heavier emotional stuff. But This Is 40 struggled to strike that balance. The funny moments are too few and far between, and the dramatic moments get way too real and tense. This Is 40 makes me want to never get married. It makes marriage look like an unbearable, inescapable hell on earth. Honestly, This Is 40 feels more like a horror movie than a comedy. It doesn't give me the warm, cozy, relaxed feeling I get from comedies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It gives me the sense of dread and uneasiness I get from a horror movie like The Exorcist. The feeling that everything's going horribly and it's only going to get worse. I have a knot in my stomach watching all the arguments and the lying and the backstabbing. This Is 40's take on family life is about as optimistic as Hereditary. Having kids doesn't look fun at all in This Is 40. Everyone just wants to escape.
Fuck you!
All the funniest moments in This Is 40 involve ancillary characters played by scene stealers like Chris O'Dowd, Melissa McCarthy, and Albert Brooks.
Can you please not talk like that, Catherine? Music Man is rehearsing next door.
Sorry, fucking Music Man. Maybe if I looked more like this fake bullshit couple. Looks like they're in a bank commercial. That's what you look like. Like you're a bullshit bank commercial couple.
The main characters are all too wrapped up in a web of lies and resentment to be funny. Something has gone terribly wrong with your comedy movie when Megan Fox is funnier than Paul Rudd or Leslie Mann. It would be one thing if you could take the characters' problems seriously, but they lead lives of such absurd levels of privilege that it's impossible to do that. You're supposed to believe they're in dire financial straits, but they can also just take a few days off and go to a lovely resort to get away from it all. I'd love to have the kind of money problems where you can just go on a nice long holiday to avoid thinking about it. Pete and Debbie have a conversation about the money they're losing across like 10 different rooms in their gigantic luxurious house. Just rent out the guest house, problem solved. Like most horror movies, there's no closure at the end of This Is 40. Pete and Debbie still aren't sure if they're meant to be together, they still have money troubles as a result of lying to each other, their kids still hate them. It's like the end of The Descent when Sarah realizes she's still trapped in the cave, or the end of The Thing when MacReady and Childs realize they're gonna freeze to death, or the end of Night of the Living Dead when Ben survives to the morning only to be shot dead when he's mistaken for a zombie. There is a glimmer of hope at the end of This Is 40, in that Pete and Debbie are expecting a third child and that's apparently supposed to make everything alright. But that's not a happy ending. They're bound to have all the same problems with the third kid that they're having with the current two, and their financial difficulties will only get worse with a new baby in the house. That baby isn't a beacon of hope, it's the Antichrist.
What have you done to it? What have you done to its eyes?
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.